So, as many of you have probably predicted, there was another group of trolls saying stupid things. And this group happened to be 3 people, and they all 3 were white. You see, I'm not racist, but they are. They're full of excuses. Their trainers, their coaches mad because they cannot play me out as some kind of puppet that they trained. Because since about 97 or 98, before even the year 2000, I began training myself. This infuriates them, because now they have to admit that I outsmarted them all, and that I'm better than them all. And they have been caught with their pants down, slowing down my videos. Just yesterday, someone else saw it that way, and we now have 48 views, and not a single person who has seen it has spoken out to say that it didn't seem slowed down. It's that obvious. One of the people in the comments said that I have the trained eye, but yes, she can tell it was slowed down. You think how despicable they are, filming me not only in my room, but in my car, drugging my food and drinks every chance they get, and slowing down my videos. Not to mention my parents complaining when I do my martial arts too loud in my room. And yet I have still outsmarted all their masters, sifus, coaches, trainers. And I am above them all. While they have denied me my credit and hid behind white social norms. And I've been telling you all this stuff for quite some time. Just the other day I was posting the video process to prove the cyber attack, and lo and behold, there on the screen was definitive proof. I posted that as well. I'm very insightful. I figure things out very quickly. And I've seen a lot of clues. You know, people from my old schools were some of the people who have been gang stalking me. I've seen representatives from every single martial arts school I've ever attended as part of the gang stalking. So I have no doubt that there's a certain potential for them to lie about past events and to downplay my credit. But many of these schools are still active. Some of them I have put in my Top Martial Arts Challenge in the description and in the comments. And they've been there in the description and in the comments going on 3 years. They have no excuse. They settle for dishonor instead of doing the right thing. How can they teach the youngsters in their dojo anything about morality, discipline, honor, or principle, or anything like this, when they know damn well what's going on with me? And instead of admitting it, they're helping the enemy gang stalk me and try to confound my free speech, try to limit it, try to hinder, deny me my constitutional rights. How dishonorable is that? So I would just watch it play out. I've never seen such, and I've said it before too, I've never seen such dishonor for martial artists in my life as when I made my top martial arts challenge. I mean, these people scrambled. Their pale, sweaty faces scrambling to cover up my martial arts prowess and greatness. I've reached the highest level of martial arts excellence, and they are scrambling to cover it up. Because just like the military, just like the police, just like corporations, they care about the internal organization of their sector. The order of martial arts, if you will. An order based on lies, an ethnocentric garbage, denying the black man his credit. A racist order. I mean, is that not racist? To twist things? To start martial arts with India and other parts of Asia? When the earliest depiction of martial arts is in Africa, a bunch of black people wrestling, stick fighting, striking. How pathetic is that? No, I assure you, if they could have beaten me, they would have. They were not moved in the slightest by my slowed down martial arts demonstrations because they knew they were being slowed down. They knew not to try it. They knew I would win. They knew that their systems, and they know that their systems are obsolete compared to mine. They know that their students and masters are inferior martial artists compared to me. But yet they insist on trying every low, dirty trick on record, provoking me, or trying to provoke me, to get me involuntarily admitted into the psych ward. On record. Prank calls and harassment, noise campaigns for sleep deprivation purposes. And the long list of things that they've been caught doing, from drugging, fuming, slowing down my videos, vandalism, cyber attacks, and more. They have no honor. And how many of you are dumb enough to think that it is just a coincidence that there are whites, Jews, and Asians in mental health, and there are whites, Jews, and Asians in martial arts, the main people doing this? No way is it a coincidence. They put all their heads together, pooled their resources, and they couldn't win. They've been caught with their dresses up, cheating. Cheating. Martial arts is not about tricks. I guess that's how Asians and whites view martial arts, as something where you save face and do little dirty tricks. It's not truly what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be something that liars and cheaters abuse to make themselves look good. Like they abuse their churches. Nothing is sacred to these people. We all know in every aspect of life they cheat and try to make themselves look good. And of course, we know that they take performance-enhancing drugs. I've exposed that as well. As many as 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 college athletes or maybe it was even as high as 50%. They admitted it themselves, according to an NCAA study, I believe it was. It was some valid study. All these people with their youthful exuberance, I'm in my mid-30s, taking all these performance-enhancing drugs while they're impairing me with performance-impairing drugs, slowing down my demonstrations. But they don't have any excuse for the top martial arts challenge, now do they? All they have is failure and disgrace. Because they're not as insightful as I am. They're not as clever as I am. They're not as close to God. They have inferior philosophies and inferior martial arts applications. They are weak, tempted by treachery and those who partake in it. What it means to the African martial artist is to be a man of honor, fighting for honor and virtue, staying true to the accompanying moral code. This concept has been lost in translation. It has been lost in time and space with these people. And yes, make no mistake, there are some black people who are helping them out too. But there's none of them that are comparable to me. No martial artist anywhere has done what I've done, politically, physically, spiritually, and in the martial arts world. These lame cheaters have disgraced themselves, their races, their families, their groups, and they've been caught doing it. Oh, how they are desperate. Drugging me every time I sleep, whether I'm napping. I mean, these people have me under 24-hour surveillance. Do you have any idea how much it costs to have someone on under 24-hour surveillance? How much it costs to pay all these people to make sure that I'm drugged, to coordinate it every day, to do more than just background checks, but to meticulously sort through every day of my life that they can get any information on, to try to find out what makes me tick. I mean, when you truly look at this thing, my victory is the greatest. And I've outmaneuvered them to catch them doing it. And I've challenged other target individuals to prove their situations more effectively than I have proven mine. And they simply can't do it. I feel my poems and songs better than any songs or any music out there. And I'm not saying I'm the best, but I am saying that. My speeches seem the best to me, even though I'm drugged. They're very powerful. They cover the topic very well. I don't think that anyone has exposed the New World Order as well as I have, which I consider of the utmost importance. I don't think that anyone has exposed gang stalking as well as I have, which I consider central to the great conspiracy. It's psyops. How can you pull off a great conspiracy without controlling people's minds and dumbing them down and feeding them nonsense? I am a glorious man, and you whites and Jews and Asians need to recognize it. You need to start making amends. And you need to start training your daughters to look for the qualities that I have in men. And to stop being gold-digging harlots that disgrace themselves, their families, their races, their ancestors, and the one true God. Stop raising little Babylonian harlots. Stop doing what the Masons want you to do. Start doing the right thing. Make a better world. That's That's what martial arts is really about, the accompanying moral code and impressing it upon people through your graceful execution and your defeat of the enemies as I have. To my white brothers who are not so well-meaning, keep in mind that you are disgracing your race by consistently getting caught sabotaging me. And every time someone plays dumb about it on your behalf, and you allow them to, and you don't speak out with the truth in my favor, you are furthering your dishonor. The annoyance of me having to ignore another troll whose comment I didn't even finish reading means nothing to that added dishonor. How do you think it's reflecting on you and your dojos that you resort to this bitch shit? Your gyms, your schools? How many people do you think are going to think it's a coincidence and that it has nothing to do with you? It has everything to do with you. Because you're hiding behind this stuff. You're not giving Africa the credit for being the source of martial arts. You disgrace your ancestors by pretending that the honor and the history stops with them. They're nothing but midgets standing on the shoulders of African giants. At best. So they put a little touch on what Africa was the source of. Where do you think the first front kicks were done? The first grappling maneuvers. Where do you think these things took place? The first disarmament techniques. Who do you think had the first martial arts stances? All you did was put insignificant touches on what was already perfect. And to what? All to no avail. Keep disgracing yourself. You're like a little kid that cannot accept defeat. So you resort to just whining and saying stupid shit. And your parents are shaking their head like, wow, I was hoping they would grow up by now. This is rather disappointing. Now that's what you people are. You're disappointing. Not to mention dishonorable, ignoble, honorless, and immoral. You're liars, you're cheaters. It is very, very disappointing. If these little kids looking up to you, thinking that you're something that you're not, you're disgraceful. You're detestable. You know, when you consider that martial arts connects to religion, you're basically sacrilegious and blasphemous. You are blaspheming your martial arts systems. And you walk around all cocky and you feel all important by spreading lies and denying people such as myself their rightful place and their ancestors their rightful credit. It is a disgrace. You are disgraceful. While I am fighting for honor, make no mistake, and I promise to God this is the case, especially if you continue what you're doing. While I am fighting for honor, you are fighting for dishonor and disgrace. Think about that. Think about the difference. Jump! 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 July 4th. And great men who were ridiculed. I'm the falcon that kills it. Christians, say it with me.